Welcome to Lost in Revision. All of our content is public domain, literature, fairy tales, and folklore. We look at stories through an irreverent and lighthearted lens in our discussion episodes, and our daily stories are a fun way to listen to the original versions in a short format that can fit into most people's schedules. If you prefer to listen to full chapters, you can subscribe to our Patreon page. We just added a $1 option that provides early access and more. You can check the show notes for our Linktree page, where there are links to all of our public pages, ways to contact us, and all of our content. Our goal is to at least break even to cover our expenses, so any support that you can offer to help us reach that goal helps keep this podcast going and you entertained. All of our music is by Nathan Hubble and is used with his permission. Thanks, and enjoy the show.
How Little John Lived at the Sheriff's.
Part 5.
Now, quoth Little John, it doth seem to me that instead of striving to cut one another's throats, it were better for us to be boon companions. What sayest thou, jolly cook? Wilt thou go with me to Sherwood Forest, and join with Robin Hood's band? Thou shalt live a merry life within the woodlands, and 70 good companions shalt thou have. One of them is mine own self. Thou shalt have 3 suits of Lincoln green each year, and 40 marks in pay. Now, thou art a man after mine own heart, cried the cook right heartily, and as thou speakest of it, that is the very service for me. I will go with thee, and that right gladly. Give me thy palm, sweet fellow, and I will be thine own companion from henceforth. What may be thy name, lad? Men do call me Little John, good fellow. How? And art thou indeed Little John, and Robin Hood's own right-hand man? Many a time and oft I heard of thee, but never did I hope to set eyes upon thee. And thou art indeed the famous Little John. And the cook seemed lost in amazement, and looked upon his companion with open eyes. I am Little John, indeed, and I will bring to Robin Hood this day a right stout fellow to join his merry band. But ere we go, good friend, it seemeth to me to be a vast pity that, as we have had so much of the sheriff's food, we should not also carry off some of his silver plate to Robin Hood, as a present from his worship. Ay, merry is it, said the cook. And so they began hunting about, and took as much silver as they could lay hands upon, clapping it into a bag, and when they had filled the sack, they set forth to Sherwood Forest. Plunging into the woods, they came at last to the greenwood tree, where they found Robin Hood and 70 of his merry men lying upon the fresh green grass. When Robin and his men saw who it was that came, they leaped to their feet. Now welcome, cried Robin Hood. Now welcome, Little John. For long hath it been since we have heard from thee, though we all knew that thou hadst joined the sheriff's service. And how hast thou fared all these long days? Right merrily have I lived at the Lord Sheriff's, answered Little John, and I have come straight thence. See, good master, I have brought thee his cook, and even his silver plate. Thereupon he told Robin Hood and his merry men that were there all that had befallen him since he had left them to go to the fair at Nottingham town. Then all shouted with laughter except Robin Hood, but he looked grave. Nay, Little John, said he, thou art a brave blade and a trusty fellow. I am glad thou hast brought thyself back to us, and with such a good companion as the cook, whom we all welcome to Sherwood. But I like not so well that thou hast stolen the sheriff's plate like some paltry thief. The sheriff hath been punished by us, and hath lost 300 pounds, even as he sought to despoil another, but he hath done naught that we should steal his household plate from him. Though Little John was vexed with this, he strove to pass it off with a jest. Nay, good master, quoth he, if thou thinkest the sheriff gave us not the plate, I will fetch him, that he may tell us with his own lips he giveth it all to us. So saying, he leaped to his feet and was gone before Robin could call him back. Little John ran for full 5 miles till he came to where the Sheriff of Nottingham and a gay company were hunting near the forest. When Little John came to the sheriff, he doffed his cap and bent his knee. "God save thee, good master," quoth he. "Why, Reynold Greenleaf," cried the sheriff, "whence comest thou, and where hast thou been?" "I have been in the forest," answered Little John, speaking amazedly, "and there I saw a sight such as ne'er before man's eyes beheld. Yonder I saw a young hart, all in green from top to toe, and about him was a herd of 60 deer, and they too were all of green from head to foot. Yet I dared not shoot, good master, for fear lest they should slay me." "Why, how now, Reynold Greenleaf," cried the sheriff, "art thou dreaming, or art thou mad, that thou dost bring me such a tale?" "Nay, I am not dreaming, nor am I mad," said Little John, "and if thou wilt come with me, I will show thee this fair sight, for I have seen it with mine own eyes. But thou must come alone, good master, lest the others frighten them and they get away."
I hope you're enjoying the stories. We sure are enjoying creating this for you. If you go and sign up on Patreon, you can listen without having to hear me talking in the intro and outro. For only $3 a month, you get the full chapters as soon as I have them edited, and you have your own personal RSS feed with no interruptions. We just added a $1 option that provides early access and more. We also have an account with buymeacoffee.com if you want to support us that way. So check out our link tree in the show notes for all of the best ways to get in touch and support the show.
There's a lot more waiting for us all at the end of the road.